The kittens are now 4 weeks old, and it is, in a word, mayhem. They still sleep for most of the day, and they are very angelic when they do. But when they are not asleep, they are the physical embodiment of chaos. This past week was a really big week for all of them. I know I say that every week, but this was a particularly big week. They began transitioning to normal food, which was a big deal. This is actually the same dry food that Natia eats and that she was eating while she was pregnant. The formula is designed for both cats and kittens, and it normally has just the same consistency as a typical dry kibble, but we soak it in hot water and mash it up to make it a mushy, soft, easy-to-chew, gruel-type substance for the little ones. Natia's diet consists of both canned wet food and this dry food, and we actually found out that she gets much more excited about eating the dry food when we get it all soft and mushy like this. So that's a plus. We're happy to do that for her. And she also gets an egg almost every day on our vet's orders. Also big news is the fact that they have all officially been litter trained, which went surprisingly well. This was our first time litter training kittens, so we didn't really have high expectations or know exactly what to expect, but it went well, all things considered. There's only actually one proper accident, which was obviously Gandalf. Oh, and all the kittens are now named, by the way. And it was actually litter training them was actually pretty cute because cats have a natural digging instinct, so it's in their nature to cover up their droppings. And so you don't have to do a whole lot when training them other than making sure you're consistently putting the kittens into their litter trays at regular intervals after they wake up or a bit after they eat. And in the beginning, we were holding onto their little paws and showing them how to dig, which was super cute. The kittens are also using a different litter than Mom is. They're using a special non-clumping type that is safe for kittens because kittens are insane and will try to eat the litter or might accidentally inhale it. And so we wanted to make sure that we're not giving them anything that's toxic or that could potentially cause internal damage if swallowed. So going to the bathroom is something they've actually been doing really, really well, with the one major exception of the fact that they now love to play in the litter. Lucky for us, it is their new favorite place to wrestle, and today, actually, I had to spend a good 5 minutes cleaning cat poop off of Dave because he had been rolling in it, so that was fun. Speaking of Dave, here he is again. I have avocados again this week, thank God. It is remarkably challenging to get kittens to actually stay still, well, whether you're filming them or otherwise, so I just gave up on that part and let them walk around. Aside from the litter box wrestling incident today, Dave has been a spectacular kitten. They all are, but he's a particularly model good kitten. He's becoming more and more keen on cozying up in our laps and taking a little nap or climbing our shirts and chilling out on our shoulders or our necks. He also has an uncanny habit for getting places without us having any idea how he got there. All of the kittens are rapidly getting better at climbing and getting up on high things that they probably shouldn't be on in the first place, but even earlier this week, before they had really developed that confidence, Dave had somehow gotten onto this part of the futon, and we have no idea how. Very impressive. Here is Pipa. Earlier this week, we were a little bit confused because Pipa's paws were always wet, and we could not figure out why, until we discovered that when we're not looking, Pipa likes to dip her paws into Natia's water bowl. She doesn't do anything with them. She doesn't try to drink the water. She just dips her paws in and then leaves. So that mystery's been solved. She also is the only one of the kittens who seems to really like standing in her food when she eats. We feed them on these shallow plates, and so sometimes she just gets right on in there. So she oftentimes has wet paws. It's a little weird, but that's Pipa. Gandalf, Gandalf, Gandalf. This is Gandalf, the last to be named, the absolute troublemaker of the bunch. She is mayhem incarnate. She's also gotten remarkably fast, and it always seems to be the split second that you're not watching her when she will just pick up and sprint off in whatever direction feels good to her. And it is surprising how quickly she moves. She's definitely the fastest. I love watching her and Natia in the rare moments that they are alone together because as Gandalf grows and gets a little bigger, they're looking more and more similar. and it's really cute and really special, and we think that Gandalf might actually have long hair, but we're not sure yet. Time will tell. Garbanzo has been the least keen on the kitten mush. He just wants to nurse. He's eating it now, but it took him a few days to come around to it, while the other kittens were pretty easy to start transitioning. He was also a little bit slow with the litter box, but we just kept putting him in there, and he's doing great now. He's still really into climbing things. I actually had to tie up the curtains finally today because he and Gandalf and I don't remember one of the other ones were dangerously close to being able to scale it, and I just don't want to deal with either shredded curtains or trying to retrieve kittens from curtains. Their claws are really sharp. They are very good at hanging onto things. It's like they're made of Velcro. For our last kitten, we have Scrungus. He is still our little shy guy. He's still a bit timid. He'll get scared by random things, sometimes by sort of loud noises, or I don't know, he's either afraid of coconuts or really interested in them. I can't tell which. I'll keep an eye on that. But he is becoming more and more playful with his siblings. He's initiating playtime more often, which is a really good sign. And yeah, he's doing well. He's starting to pounce more too. And then there is our sweet Natia. She's doing great. She is a remarkably good gecko catcher. Here in Costa Rica, geckos are a common household occurrence. They are just part of life. We get them inside all the time. Pre-cats, we were just trying to catch them if we could and release them back outside, but Natia usually gets to them before we even can now. She is shockingly good, probably left over from her days as a stray. The geckos are not poisonous or anything, so it's just a nice little high-protein snack for Natia when she catches them. And that is all for this crazy week. These guys are keeping us so busy. I feel like every time I sit down to do some work, they're like, oh no, it is time for us to run around and lose our minds. I spend a ridiculous amount of time chasing them down or removing them from things they shouldn't be climbing or just trying to keep them from fighting in the litter. But it's awesome. We're having a blast and they are growing so quickly. It's insane.